please join me in welcoming our facilitator for this evening, the Reverend Bob Trask.
Lots to talk about tonight. Good stuff. So let's start off with a meditation. Just put your feet flat on the floor, the bottom of your spine up against the back of your chair, and just relax. Breathe in through your nose. Hold the breath a little bit. Let it just go gently out through your mouth. And each time you breathe, just find yourself sinking deeper and deeper into total peace and relaxation. Peace and relaxation. This meditation, please allow the music to go inside you. Find a place soft and gentle. Where the music perfectly fits. Now as you breathe in and breathe out, just put your awareness, your attention on the very top of your head. In that place where when you were an infant, there was a soft spot. Focus just on that place. And now allow yourself to rise above that space. Let your awareness rise up as high as you like, 4 inches, 8 inches, half a meter above the top of your head. And keep your attention focused in that place. And hear the music coming into you in that place, in your higher mind, as though you had ears in your higher mind. Let it come in there and then go down into your body. Let it first appear in your higher mind. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes. And when you do, I want you to keep hearing the music in your higher mind. And let your gaze rest on this beautiful autumn picture, the flowing water. But stay in your higher mind. When I count to 3, let your eyes come open. Stay in this beautiful meditative place. 1, 2, 3. If we work together in more classes, again and again, we're going to be talking about the higher mind. We're going to be talking about what's called the 8th chakra, or as I said earlier, when I was working with the Buddhists in a monastery in Japan, they said there are 12 chakras above that. So tonight we're going to do some special work, and I hope you read the chapter, but I'm going to tell you that we're not going to do the whole chapter tonight. In fact, tonight we're going to do 1/2 of this chapter, and then next week we'll do the second half. And the chapters after that will be up to you to read if you choose. But the essence of what we're here to teach and to learn is pretty much contained in what's come before and in this chapter. So Tonight, make a deal with yourself, not to learn intellectually, to let it become you. What does that mean? That when you learn intellectually, you always put things on the table and look them over before you take them in. You judge it, you think about it. What does this mean? I want you tonight to just let things flow into you. Just be one with the truth that's flowing. I want you to remember, if you will, that space is eternal. We read that in this chapter. Space is eternal. It goes on forever. And forever means for all time, and it also means in all distances as far as you can go. It's forever. And time and space have some things to do with each other, but time is a measure of movement in space. So time is the move, is how long it takes for this finger to get over here to this finger. That's time. That measures things traveling through space. Strangely enough, it's measured in so many different ways that there's no real consistency. You can see that you can say that it goes miles per hour or whatever, but it's. I want you to know that. I want you to really open your mind now and just think about space, eternal space, reaching out beyond the stars, beyond the planets, reaching out and out and out and out. Space. Empty space? I don't think so. Space that contains the presence of Holy Spirit, the presence of Great Spirit, the presence of whatever we call God. Not only does it contain the presence, but it, in fact, that is the presence. The space is the presence. And in terms of time and space, obviously they only exist in our minds. So stay with me now. Since space and time and everything in this universe and multiverse is circular, that means that if I leave here today and start walking west, and I keep walking and walking and walking for years, eventually I'll end up right back here. Well, I'm coming from the east, but I'm back in the west. If I start here and walk south, and I can get around the South Pole and the North Pole, eventually I end up right back here. So this is circular. Motion is circular. Movement is circular. The planets are circular. Everything in divine order is circular. So time and space both form a circle. And that circle is zero, which means nothing. Time and space are nothing. They don't exist as something. Time and space, complete emptiness. But the zero, stay with me now, the zero is everything. It's everything. Time and space, the combination of the two is everything. And when you move faster through space, when you move faster than the speed of light, then time and space dissolve. And there's only now, not as a moment, not as a place, but as a consciousness. The consciousness of now. Not now this moment or now this chair I'm sitting in. Now this consciousness. Forever. Forever and ever and ever. Which means right now. Because right now is eternity. There is no eternity other than right now. You are in no time, no space. Truly, you are in no time and no space. Well, I know that your mind and your brain may say different things, and I know that your body may say a different thing, but the truth of it is you're not your body, and you're not your mind, and you're not your brain. You're an eternal being. You have been here forever, and you will be here forever. You are in no time and in no space. You are the creator. From no time and no space, you create. Now, what if, just what if, you could get there before you leave the planet? What if you could get there then? Have you experienced, let me ask a question, and then we're going to take some answers on this. Have you experienced how hard it is to create a new reality when you're locked up in fear or confusion or self-doubt? Think about that for a moment. When you've tried to create a new reality, whether it was to pay a bill that was due and you didn't know how you were possibly going to pay it, or something tragic was happening in your life and you didn't know how you were going to deal with it, or something was happening that you needed to handle, and yet you were in fear and confusion and self-doubt, how hard then was it to create that new reality? And was it even possible? And can you give us an example? Please. I'm opening up now. Come and talk to me. Go to reactions, hit the hand, and you will come right in. How hard was it for you to create a new reality? Did you need to create a new reality? Did you need to create a new reality? I'll bet you did. I'll bet there's times when you needed a new reality, a reality different than the one you were experiencing. Maybe in your relationships, maybe in your marriage, maybe with your children, maybe with your health, maybe with your finances, maybe with your spirituality, maybe with your creativity. You needed to create a new reality, and as you move toward that need, you found yourself either in fear or confusion or self-doubt. I'd like to hear some examples of how that happened and when.
We have a question coming up from Derek Milne.
So, Bob, do you believe in reincarnation?
I do, but it's different than as popularly advertised as reincarnation. Like, I don't think that I die and then come back as another person in this world, or necessarily. That could be true, but not necessarily, because there are multiple universes all going on at the same time. And I think that we are, this is going to sound a little difficult, but it's okay. We are present in all universes. And there are not multiple, there are unlimited universes, unlimited dimensions. And we are present in each of them, going through different incarnations, different I want to say lifetimes, but that doesn't always work in other incarnations. Different beingnesses. And all of that is going on. And we're moving with our consciousness back and forth through those. Right now, we're in this one. Right now, this is where we are.
Okay, thank you. So I guess I understand that our standard idea that, oh, I'll just become another person on Earth is a little bit too limited, considering that there's so many different planets, different worlds and dimensions and planes of consciousness.
Yes, thank you, yes. And see, the thing is that if I really get it here on this earth, now I don't mean get religion or get mathematics or something. I mean, if I really get truth with a capital T, if I get truth, if I really come to understand and not understand, let me move that aside. If I come to know, because there's a big difference between knowing and understanding. If I come to know the truth of who and what I am, and who and what the universe is, and who and what each of you and me are as one body, if I come to know that, then there's no reason for me to come back into this again. So I'll go to a little higher, I don't even like the word higher, a little bit, a dimension that will ask more of me to grow. Because we came here, you've all heard me say this, but I want to say again, we came here in this lifetime for two reasons only: to experience and to express. To experience and to express. If we experience without expressing, we aren't living our lifetime. If we experience the heartbreak and the tragedies and the joys and the loveliness and the music and all of that, and express it in whatever way, dance, talk, singing, whatever, to express the experiences as they come through us, that makes us grow. We grow in grace and in wisdom. And so if we experience and express, then what happens is that we grow in wisdom and in joy, in wisdom and in grace. We grow. And as we do that, as eternal spiritual beings, we're ready then for the next balloon ride.
Balloon ride sounds exciting, sure. You know, one thing that I was always fascinated by was that people say, I think I remember a previous incarnation. And then someone might say, oh, I remember my last 5 previous incarnations. And then someone would say, well, I know that I'm an old soul. And then I thought, well, how can you be an old soul or a new soul if there's no start? I mean, are we dealing with have I had an infinite number of previous lives? Will I have an infinite number of subsequent future lives? So infinity becomes a big question for me.
Yeah, and that's excellent. What you just said is excellent, because when I think of having had an infinite number of previous lives, and we'll have an infinite number of future lives. If it's truly infinite, if it truly is infinite, there's only one life.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Wow. Because it doesn't move, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just one.
So truly you're just an eternal being, changing scenery.
Absolutely. 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 A boat on the river, just seeing all the different things on the river as I go by.
Fascinating.
Thank you, Derek. Eckhart Tolle said we should die before we die. What do you think he meant by that? What do you think he meant by we should die before we die? Excuse me just for a moment. Because, see, when you die, then you get to see this truth. Then you get to know this truth. So what Eckhart is saying is that we need to be able to reach into that space now, not be locked in what we've been taught by the elders and the ages and the religions and the religiosities and the races and the sects and the families and the baloney. Who you are is an eternal fragment of the great rock of God. And as such, you are God. But you have to be able to experience that. Just having a mindset doesn't help it at all. We need to be able to experience it. So I'm going to ask you to go into a breakout room in just a minute. And before you go, I want you to know that if you are meditating, and please don't tell me I can't meditate. Please don't tell me you don't have time. Please don't tell me you don't know how. Please don't tell me any of that nonsense. Because I could right now go to YouTube and pull up a meditation sound for you that would put you into deep, deep alpha waves in a minute. You can go on Google and find those and you can meditate. And you must be meditating. And also we have spiritual wisdom circles that are designed for people who are trying to reach beyond their identities into a higher level of knowingness of who they are. If you were able to do this, you could be following the course of spiritual mastery. So your life takes on a new meaning. You're not paying your bills and getting older and stuff. No, you're growing and expanding like a great flower into the arms of eternity. Beautiful arms of eternity. So I'm going to ask you to go into breakout rooms in a minute, and you have a question. And the question is, do I believe that attending a spirit circle and meditating daily can change my life? Be honest. Just be honest. If you don't think it can change your life, just say, no, I've done some meditation. I've done these kinds of mind twisting. No, I don't think that would change my life. If you say, yes, I think it would change my life, then of course, the next question is going to be, will you do it? And here's your question.
How many minutes are we going to go for, Bob?
Let's go for 20 minutes.
Okay, I'll open the rooms in just a moment.